Hello traders, welcome back to our YouTube channel, official YouTube channel of the Forex Masterminds. And yeah, it's been a long time since you guys last seen an upload on YouTube. So we are back, and this time we are back better and stronger. Without wasting much of our time, let's take a look at what the market will be expecting for the first week of September. Over the previous week, we had series of fundamental. We had a very, very positive week. The previous week was very, very positive as NFP, which was very higher than expected. We had the unemployment job claims were still higher than expected, and the CPI was also very high. Other news like FOMC was high, and they had higher job openings in the US. So what are we expecting on the USD, the US dollar? On the US dollar, we should be expecting more buys. All right, because we had a very, very positive week. The news results that ended last month were very, very positive. We had more positive than more negative. All right, the news that ended last month were very, very positive. So, what we're expecting should be that our US dollar here, which are going to be starting with Dow Jones or US dollar, is going to be experiencing more push towards the upside. So, without wasting much of our time, let's get into the charts. So on our screen here, we have the US dollar, which is going to be the first pair we're going to be looking at. We're going to be looking at through just 10 currencies for this week. We're going to look at 10 currency pairs. On the US dollar, starting from our weekly time frame, which is the way we always analyze at Forex Mastermind, we always start from weekly time frame to see the overall trend of the week. So on the weekly time frame, you can clearly see that we are in a very strong bullish trend, right? We are in a very strong bullish trend. Market seemed to be creating series of higher highs and higher lows, 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 push to very strong push to the upside, higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows, market just kept us taking our structures towards the upside. So our expectations for the week from what we are seeing here is that the market should either probably give a retracement back into our demand or supply zone created, and our demand zone created, then also give a push towards the upside. So from the weekly time frame, we can roughly say that on the US dollar, and combining with our fundamentals that we had, that the NFP was higher than it was, therefore meaning that we should experience more positivity on the US dollar. We're expecting that the US currency should also have more value, that it should be increasing more because of it's been stuck in the range of a higher high and higher lows. It's been a very strong bullish trend for the past couple of weeks or even years. So it's just kept taking structure towards the upside. But throughout the year, we are having a strong bullish push towards the upside. Completely took out the structure here. Let's see, at this point we have this beautiful break of structure seated at that level there. Yeah, had a beautiful break of structure standing. Market just kept us taking our structure towards the upside. Okay, then what happened was that the market took out the structure and came back to mitigate the demand zone. Okay, let me delete this off the chart. Market took out that structure and came back to mitigate the demand zone that was created at this point here. Let me change the colors of that thing. Okay, good. Market came back to mitigate the demand zone which was created at that point there. So what we're expecting is that since market is taking our structure towards the upside, we've got this beautiful break of structure at this level here. We have the beautiful break of structure towards the upside, our expectation, and we have our beautiful created demand zone at this level, which was our beautiful created demands at this level. Our expectation is that the market should give a complex retracement, a little retracement back into our demands. That's our highlight. This is our weekly outlook for the month of September. Our expectation for September is that the market should be correcting back into the demand zone to continue with its expectation. All right, moving on to the daily time frame, so we could get a clearer view on the market. You clearly see we're still in that same range. Okay, we're still stuck in that same matter. Refining our demand zone, we could say we have this demand zone at this level here because you see have a beautiful change of character that was created here at this point here, change of character here. And also look at the daily time frame, we can see we have a break of structure at this point here. I got the break of structure at that level there. What we're expecting for the market to also come back and give a little reaction at that demand zone. Okay, our expectation will be for the market to come down to probably give a little reaction there. If the market chooses to come down and return, it needs to give a little reaction at this point here, then continue either towards the upside, then push back. But our overall expectation for the month of September is that the market should be in a very strong correction. That's the dollar should be decreasing in value, all right? But the long-term view of the market from the weekly time frame is that we should be looking for more buys than sell. Okay, on our 4-hour time frame, heading over to the 4-hour time frame to get more information about this market and what the market is talking about. On our 4-hour time frame, we could clearly see that the market is still giving us that strong bullish intention. The market is still giving us a very strong bullish intention. The market continues to break structure towards the upside. As you can see here, we have this beautiful break of structure at this point here. Market kept on breaking structure towards the upside and still mitigating demand zones that were created. So our expectation is either the market, okay, and we got this liquidity here. We have a beautiful liquidity that level there. That's the trend line liquidity at that point there. We have liquidity created at that level. So our expectation is that either the market respect that zone or probably cause a supply demand flip at this level. It's probably giving a reaction to the demand zone here. Then we should expect either a demand zone failure and a push towards the downside to take out the liquidity created here. So from our view on dollar from the 4-hour time frame, we should be expecting more of sales from the dollar. We should be expecting sales for this week, all right, a retracement or a correction, but the sell isn't at 100% level. We should be expecting a correction back into the demand zone, and the market can also still choose. The higher probability is a correction back into the demand zone, or the market can also still choose to remain in the bullish phase and continue pushing up, all right. So but our higher end expectation is that since the market has taken out the structure, and remember, after a break of structure, the market needs to give correction back into the demand zone created. So we're expecting the market to give that beautiful complex, either a complex retracement or a correction back into the previous created demand zone. Moving on to the next pair, which is GBPUSD. This has been this. Remember, most pairs, any pairs that USD is the quote currency, we are expecting that pair should be very bearish since USD seems to be rising. So on the GBPUSD, we were stuck in a very beautiful downtrend. We have been in a very beautiful downtrend with high momentum. Okay, on GBPUSD, we are in a very beautiful downtrend. Although market seems to be playing around this demand zone that was formed here, but we are still in a very bullish, very strong bearish trend. Okay, because you clearly see that the market starting from the beginning of 2022, we clearly see the market had been taking out structures towards the downside, created this lower low, lower high, 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 lower low. At this point, the market is currently in a demand zone. So if the market seems to fulfill is that it should respect this demand zone. Our expectation is that the market should probably respect this demand zone if it wants to continue that method that it was creating series of lower lows and lower highs. It should probably give a little reaction to this demand zone and give a reaction there and also push to use downside. So our supply zone for ahead that we're going to be looking out to either take a sell. Our supply zone we are going to be looking out for this week was going to be that zone at that level. We expect sales. At that point, we are looking at the market should give more selling pressure from that level. These are our supplies we're looking at that level, and this is the demand zone. At this demand zone, what we're expecting, we can't see the market is very correct because the market can also choose to break out the structure, take out the structure from the demand zone. That's make this demand zone completely fail. The market can choose to do that. But our expectation is that it should give a reaction. Now, remember, this is just my own view of the market. This is not a signal, all right? This is my view of the market. So heading on to the daily time frame. Our daily time frame, we have some beautiful price action which was hidden there. Has some price action which I have to delete. I'm going to delete that so I can still come across this thing. On daily time frame, we still had strong bearish momentum towards downside. Market was just giving a very strong impulse move towards downside. We had strong candle rejection, as you can see here. Market just had this strong. We are seeing a very strong bearish trend on our daily time frame. Market hasn't shown any correction, any idea that okay, I might buy anytime soon. So we are still in a very strong, bearish market at this point. We are in a very strong bearish market at this level here. So because the market just kept creating bear candle, right? Then we also got this break of structure seated at this level here, making us have another supply zone at this point. We have a supply zone at that week there. Okay, and moving on to the 4-hour time frame to see if we can get any correction, any data on the 4-hour time frame. Or we can only see that the market kept on taking out structures towards downside. The market is still in the demand zone. So our expectation is either the market, our expectation ahead of the week. Let me delete this previous analysis on the chart. Our expectation, my expectation and ahead of the week is that either the market seems to obey this high created. As far as the market is still below that high created, market is still below the high created, then we still expect to have more push towards the downside, because the market is still below the high created. Okay, although the market has not completely taken out the structure here, hasn't taken out the structure. Okay, or should we say, it took out the structure with a little weak. At that point, it took out the structure a little weak, but we are still below that high created. We should be expecting more of bearish momentum towards the downside, more push towards the downside. Before we can clearly say and confidently say the market is ready to buy, we want to see the market first of all take out this high. If the market takes out this high, then we should expect a price action data of this nature. If the market can completely take out this high, then we should say that we are looking for buy opportunities. But because the market is still below this high, we are gonna be selling this market very, very well. Okay, we're gonna be expecting more of sales. All right. On to the next pair, which is the Euro USD. We're gonna still start from the weekly time frame to see what we are talking about. And yeah, on the Euro USD, you will clearly see it has been a very, very strong bearish trend. Okay, we had a very strong bearish trend from the top here down to this level here. We had been very, very bearish. Okay, the market was very, 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 very bearish at this level here. We had series of lower lows and lower highs were just being created. Had series of starting from this point here, we had the lower low created. Okay, sorry, so starting from this level, we had this low created, but this low wasn't able to take out this zone, so we're gonna take it as probably as a supply demand flip. Okay, so sorry for that. I'm gonna take out this level as a supply demand flip. Okay, a supply demand flip, because when market was inside the market gave a reaction to that zone. But after the market was able to take out the supply zone created, what could we see? The market went on to create a lower high, and also took out the structure. Then we have this lower low at this level, lower high at this level, lower low at this point, lower high at this level, lower low at this point, lower high at this level. And market was still stuck in that range. Okay, still have this lower low at this level, lower high at this level, lower high at this level. Oh, sorry for that. We got this. We had lower low at this level, lower high at this level, lower low at this level, lower high at this level, and so on and so forth. So the market has currently taken out the structure, and we are still very bearish. But if we could look at our screen to the left hand side, we will clearly see we are in. Looking at our data from the left hand side, we will clearly see we have this beautifully created demand zone at this level, which the market tends to be reacting to. Okay, looking at the past, we will see we have a demand zone at that level, which the market seems to be reacting to. Okay, yeah, we have got the demand zone at that level. But for now, we can't still say the market is ready to buy. We can't say the market is ready to buy because it's still very bearish. Okay, but the market is currently giving a reaction in the demand zone created. Until the market takes out this high, then we can say we are expecting a bullish intention on this chart. But for now, we are still strongly bearish. Now, weekly time frame, we are very, very bearish on the market. I'm gonna go to the daily time frame to see if the daily time frame has any more information for us. Now, our daily time frame, we could clearly see we are still stuck in the bearish phase, because the market clearly took out the structure here, and we are having series of ranging candle. Market is giving a reaction to the demand zone, and we have got this supply zone at this point here. We have our supply zone at that level there. Okay, have a supply zone at that level, and also we got another supply zone at this point. So the market is still below the supply zone. All right, the market hasn't even reached the supply. The market has just been ranging, trying to give reaction to the demand zone created here, I think somewhere in 2017 or 2016. So the dollar has been the dollar has been gaining value for the past couple of weeks, while the euro has been also losing its value. All right, so the market is still reacting to the demand zone, and we can't clearly say this is our intention, this is what the market is telling us to do. But all we can say is that we are still very bearish until the market takes out this high that was created here, the highest point that was created here. Then we can say we are expecting a bullish trend. All right, so going to our 4-hour time frame for some intraday moves. For some intraday moves, you will clearly see that the 4-hour time frame has just been stuck in a range, in a very beautiful range. Market has been stuck in this beautiful range at this level here. So we still haven't can't say we have an intention in market. You can clearly see the market has been stuck into this range. It hasn't taken out any structure to the upside or to the downside. Market has just been consolidating, creating series of higher high, just being in the structure, try to create a higher high, but it still didn't work. It wasn't able to take out the structure. The market has just been consolidating in a range. So until either we see a breakout either to the downside of this range, or we see a breakout to the downside of this range, or we see a breakout to the upside, okay, or breakout to the upside, then we can say we are ready to give a direction in the market. But for now, the market still seems to be stuck in this range, obeying some supply demand levels. We are still stuck in this range. So until the market can take out any of this structure, either the lows of the range or the highs of the range, then we can say we are ready to buy this market. But for now, we are ready to buy or sell this market. But for now, we are still stuck in this bullish, beautiful range that was created here. Moving on to the next pair, we have the NZDUSD. Still starting from our weekly time frame. Our weekly time frame, okay, I'm going to leave the analysis I had there. On our weekly time frame, we could clearly see we are still stuck in a bearish trend, alright? We are still stuck in a bearish trend. So basically, as dollar tends to be adding value, any currency that the dollar is the quote currency will tend to lose value, alright? Any currency that dollar is the quote currency will tend to be decreasing as long as dollar keeps going up to the upside, all right? And from our fundamentals, we should expect more push in dollar because of the previous month ended beautifully. We had so many fundamentals on the previous month, all right? So we're expecting more push towards the upside for using our fundamentals. So moving on to the NZDUSD on our screen here, we can clearly see we are still stuck in a bearish trend. Market kept on creating series of lower lows and lower highs, 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 lower lows and lower high. So at this point here, market is still has taken out the structure here with a little big ball, and we're not gonna really count that because it's very small, it's kind of minute, all right? So the market seems still stuck in this range of creating lower lows and lower highs, 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 lower lows and lower high. We are not expecting, although the market tends to be giving a reaction to demand zone created here, we can't say this market is ready to buy because we are still below this high at this point. Okay, we are still below this high at this level. So heading on that over to our daily time frame to see if the market can give any reason to buy. For the meantime, any reason for us to take a buy on this market, but yes, you see clearly see we are in a bearish trend. Market still kept on took our mini structures at this level here, but still respected a supply zone which was created here and took out another structure at this point here. Yet its market still was still able to respect the supply zone which was created here. So what we can say is that we're still expecting strong bearish momentum from this market. It also took out a big structure, but it's not really hasn't taken out completely out of that structure, but we are still stuck in a bearish trend because we haven't seen any move towards the upside from daily time. So on the forward time frame, what can we see? Market looks as if it wants to buy, all right? The market looks as if it wants to give little bullish intention on the chart, but market looks as if it wants to give bullish intention on the chart, okay? On our forward time frame here, you got that part. So on our forward time frame here, the market looks as if it wants to give a little push towards the upside, but it's still stuck in this demand zone, all right? Okay, let me change the color of this demand zone so we can understand what I'm talking about. Market looks as if it wants to take out the structure here, but what happened is still respected the supply zone that was at this level, the supply zone at this level. So until the market has created enough momentum to give a push and take out the structure here, then we can see then we can see the market tends to show some buy pressure. But as far as the market is still below this supply zone or below this high at this level, then we can say we are still very bearish, okay? So moving on to the next pair, our next pair on our screen here, which is the AUDUSD. We're gonna start from our weekly time frame here. On our weekly time frame, we still have a bearish trend. The market, okay, let me delete all analysis. On our weekly time frame here, the market is still in this bearish trend, all right? We still can clearly see the market is still in a bearish trend because it has just created a series of lower lows and lower high. We still have this sweet bearish trend towards downside, bearish movement towards the upside because market was still stuck in creating a series of lower lows and lower high, taking our structure towards the downside and still strongly bearish. Combining with our fundamentals, we are still expecting more sales. Okay, market at this point, market tried to take out the structure, but yet it still didn't hold. Right, it came back and cleared liquidity that was created at this point because of the liquidity. Market need to look for momentum. That's why you had to break above the structure to clear the liquidity that was created here. And after that was done, market did what created a lower low, lower high, lower low, and lower high. Okay, the market is still stuck in the lower high. Okay, market hasn't taken out any structure towards the upside, which indicates that we are still bearish on AUDUSD. We are still looking for sales on AUDUSD. As you clearly see, the market isn't reacting to any demand zone from the past. The nearest demand zone that we have here is seated at this level here, but you can see the market is still far from it. So the market can also decide to push down to mitigate this demand zone here before even showing little bullish intention. So that's on our daily time frame. Let's see what the market is doing on our daily time frame. Our daily time frame, the market tends to take out this structure at this level here. We had this beautiful change of character at some point here. Yes, we had a change of character at this point, and our demand zone, which is clearly here, which market is currently reacting to the demand zone. On the daily time frame, we had a change of character. Okay, we had this change of character at this level. Market took out structure towards the upside and also took out structure towards the downside, indicating that we have got a change of character on the daily time frame, and the market is still above the demand zone. The market hasn't taken out this low. So for now, on AUDUSD, we should be expecting probably more buys, then probably either this demand zone, then push towards the downside to take out. All right, we're expecting more buys to this supply zone created at this top here. Expecting more buys to the demand zone created at to the supply zone created at the top there. Then we expect the market to push out to take out that structure. Okay, so this is our expectation for a daily time frame on AUDUSD. And hopping on to the 4-hour time frame, what could we see on the 4-hour time frame? We're bearish, we're strongly bearish, and we're bearish on the 4-hour time frame. As you can see, we're still stuck in creating series of lower lows, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. Market price structure created lower low, lower high, lower low. Then we had this move that took out the structure, but although it didn't completely take out the structure, but it took out the structure with a wick. So what we're expecting is that the market should take out that structure and still come back, probably mitigating this demand zone, which the market is creating an inside back candle at that level, which indicates that the market can be probably mitigating the demand zone at this point here. Okay, let me change this color from pink to blue. Okay, the market can be probably trying to mitigate the demand zone at that level here. Okay, market seems to be mitigating the demand zone at that level there. So our expectations on AUDUSD is that we should expect a push towards the upside. Okay, we're expecting a push towards the upside from that zone, then probably giving a reaction at either this demand zone, because I can say we have liquidity seated at this point here. So if market tends to obey that zone, we should expect market to take out the liquidity there and probably react at the supply zone at that top there. On to the next pair, we have USDJPY. The USDJPY seems to have the same price action. And my previous drawing on the USDJPY seems to have the same price action as the US dollar. Okay, the USDJPY seems to have the same price action as the US dollar, because you will clearly see we were in a strong bullish trend. Okay, strong bullish trend. So on the USDJPY, we should be expecting more buys than sells. On the USDJPY, we should be looking for more buys than sells, because we have got this clear. We still have a very clear break of structure at this top here. We have a break of structure at this point here, and the market isn't even showing any sign of reversal yet. Going to the past, I don't think there's any demand zone. So there's any supply zone at that level at the past. So we are still above the structure, indicating that this market is still strongly bullish. So what we're expecting is that the market should probably give a complete retracement back into the demand zone here. Market should give a complete retracement probably back into the demand zone, like something of this nature, back into the demand zone, and continue in the push towards the upside. Okay, now expectation on USDJPY, looking for long-term analysis. We should expect the market to either give a complete retracement, because it just took out the structure, or the market can still just keep pushing towards the upside. So on either the market continue pushing up, then we go to our lower time frame. Lower time frame will confirm if the market is ready to give the correction back into the demand zone. As far as the market is still above this high that is created, the market is still above this low that is created here, then we should be expecting more of buys on the USDJPY. Okay, going to our 4-hour time frame, the market, our daily time frame, the market still had series of strong bullish momentum candles that was created. We had strong bullish momentum candles that was created, strong bullish momentum candle that was created, and we also have this the demand zone. We also have we have this demand zone that was created here, and the market, this was the demand zone, last demand zone that led to the push that took out that structure, right? We had the demand zone created here, but since we are still above this demand zone, our expectations for the market showing little reversals on the daily time frame by creating a setback candlestick. We're expecting market to come here, give little reaction to the demand zone, then probably take it out and move in that nature, right? That was the expectation on USDJPY, but we can't see anything yet because we haven't gotten anything. The price action has not been cleared, so we don't just guess. We have to wait for reasons before we can say the market is ready to go in this direction, because the same market can also still decide to come to the demand zone and give reaction and keep making structures towards the upside. We don't know. What we're gonna do is that we're gonna wait to see what the market does at that level. Onto the 4-hour time frame. Now, 4-hour time frame, we will still clearly see that we are still above demand zones. Okay, we are still above demand zones at this point here and at this level here. So we are still expecting more buys on the USDJPY, and because dollar index tends to be rising more, so we should expecting more buys on the USDJPY than sell. So as a trader, it's advisable you wait for buy opportunities than looking for sell opportunities on this pair. Note, this is just my own view. We at Forex Mastermind, this is just our own view of the market. Hopping on to the next pair, we have the GBPJPY, that's the GJ. Okay, a very, very funny structure here. On our weekly time frame, let me delete my drawings. Now, the weekly time frame, we're still stuck. We are kind of stuck in a bullish move. Okay, we are still in a bullish phase. Okay, as you can clearly see, market just creating series of higher highs, so we are stuck in a bullish phase. All right, although the market tends to give a reaction from the supply zone that at this point here, market tends to give a reaction from that supply zone at that level, but we are still very bullish. Okay, because if you can tag this out here as liquidity, market is pushing back into this demand zone here and trying to give some reaction there. Market is pushing back into that demand zone that was created there and trying to give some reactions there, which isn't really clear and significant enough, but we can tag this out here as liquidity in the market. Okay, our expectations is for the market to give that reaction where we can clearly see give a clear intention that it by then we should be expecting more buys to take out the liquidity that is created there. Okay, on the weekly time frame. On our daily time frame, what do we have here? Market is still in a range. Okay, we can clearly see on this time frame the market is in a range of this structure here. Okay, market has been in this range for some time now. Market is still stuck in this range. Market just trying to create wicks to break out, but the wicks are not doing anything. So we still have market stuck in this range. Okay, market is still creating. We can't really see a higher or a higher low, but it's just stuck in this range. Okay, so until the market breaks out of this range, either to the upside or market breakout solutions to the downside, then we can say we are ready to either buy or sell. Can you please stop? So we are market is still stuck in this range, so we can't really give a direction. All right, you can't say the market is buying or market is selling. So if the market takes out react on this range and completely either breaks out to the upside or breaks to the downside, then we can say we are gonna buy or we're gonna sell. But still, since it's still in the range, we have no idea of what the market wants to do. On our 4-hour time frame, the range seems to be very clear. The range seems to be very clear in the 4-hour time frame, because you clearly see, we can see this is a range here, internal range. Then we also have another range here. The market is still stuck in this range. Okay, until the market takes out the structure either to the upside or it takes out the structure to the downside, then we can see the market is ready to give us some beautiful movement. Market is still stuck in this range. So until the market takes out the higher range here, which is at this point here, The market takes out the range at that level there. Takes out, first of all, takes out the lower range. Then we can probably say we are either buying or we are either selling. Okay, but for now, we are still stuck in this range. So there's nothing we are really doing on GJ. Moving on to the next pair, which is USDCAD. And USDCAD has the same movement as USDJPY and dollar index. Let me delete some data analysis on the chart. Yeah, on USDCAD, starting from our weekly time frame, we are still kind of in a bullish trade. Okay, we are in a bullish phase. All right, the market is still very, 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 very bullish. Okay, because we have this beautiful range created. Okay, we are in a bullish trend because the C market taker had this higher high, higher low. Okay, the higher high, higher low. Market hasn't taken out the structure here at this point here. Then we can clearly see we have the higher high here, higher low at this level here, higher high there. Then we are currently in a demand zone. Okay, we are in this demand. The market is still reacting at this demand zone here. The market is yet to take out structure towards the upside, and we can still see we are below. We are below this high here. We are still below this high. Okay, so until either that high is taken out, then we can say we are expecting buys. But since we are still below this high, we can't really see much of a buy. Okay, we are still expecting probably push towards the downside. All right, let me expand. Yeah, that's what we got there. So on our daily time frame, and on our daily time frame, we could clearly see market is taking our structure towards the upside. We have got this beautiful change of character formed at this level here. We have this nice change of character here, and what the market came back to mitigate the demand zone formed here. All right, then also we also got another break of structure at this level here, and we have a demand zone created at this point here. So what our expectations? The market should push towards the downside and come to this demand zone, then give a push towards the upside. Okay, we should push towards the downside, come to the demand zone, and give a push to the upside. All right, so that's what our expectations are on this trade. Moving on to the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame to see if the market is still doing anything against what we are seeing. But we can clearly see we are still stuck in a bullish zone. Okay, the market is still above the bullish zone. All right, so probably we have a liquidity. We have liquidity seated at this level there. So what do you expect? The expectation still remains the same. Before our time for the market to push down below the zone. Although the market is still stuck in this demand zone, we want to see either the market takes out the demand zone, then gives something of this nature there. But since the market is yet to take out the demand zone, our expectations is still the market should push up from that zone towards the upside. All right. Moving on to the next pair, which is USDCHF. On USDCHF, yeah, on the weekly time frame, we are in, should I say bullish or bearish? We are stuck in we're in a bullish move. Okay, we are in a bullish move on the USDCHF. From the weekly time frame, we are in a bullish move. All right, because you could clearly see, I can clearly see we have this market took out the structure here. They had this lower low, then got the higher high, higher low. Market was stuck in a kind of complex consolidation there. And market took it out and created a higher high at that level and a higher low. Market is still here. Market is still above this demand zone here. Market is still above the demand zone that was created here. So we are still strongly bullish. Okay, on the weekly time frame, we are very, very bullish. Okay, heading on to the daily time frame. What can we see on our daily time frame is that we have got beautiful liquidity created above here. We have this beautiful liquidity at this level here. Although the market tends to be taking our structure towards the downside, and market is currently in a supply zone here, and a supply zone here. Market's in this supply zone here, and it's giving a reaction towards the downside. We can still say we are expecting push towards the upside, but for now we need to see that rejection at the supply zone. So two things can happen: that the market comes down, then probably mitigate that the demand zone at this level. We have two demand zones on this price chart here. We have one here. This is the demand zone, sorry. And we also have another demand zone at this level here. So either the market comes down to this demand zone and give a push towards the upside, or the market comes into this other demand zone here and give a push towards the upside. So overall, we are still very bullish on the USDCHF, but for now, like the day trading, our week should be a correction. The week should probably give a correction down to this level. Okay, and the market can also choose to ignore this supply zone here and still push towards the upside. So those are our probabilities on this market. But for now, since we are still below the supply zone, we should be expecting sales to the demand zone. On our 4-hour time frame, In the 4-hour time frame, it's still the same data that has been formed. Okay, we are still above a demand zone which was created. You are still above this demand zone here. So if the market fails, if that demand zone fails, then we can say the market can give us bearish momentum probably into this zone. But since we are still above this demand zone created here, then we should be expecting more push to the upside. Okay, moving on to the next pair, which is EURGBP, and I think that's our last pair on our list here. Yes, that's the last pair on our list here. On the weekly time frame, we could clearly see EURGBP is always stuck in a range. Okay, we can't really say the direction whether it's bearish or it's bullish. On the weekly time frame, we could clearly see we are still stuck in this range. Okay, the EURUSD is stuck in that range. EURGBP, yeah. It's still stuck in this range. Is yet to take out any structure either to the upside or to the downside. So on EURGBP, we are still gonna say we are stuck in the range. There is no direction yet on the weekly time frame. We're going to the daily time frame to get more information about this chart. That's the importance of top-down analysis. On a daily time frame, we can say we have, let's give meaning to the range on the weekly time frame. We can say we have this market created this higher low at this point, a higher high, higher low, a higher high. The market came to this demand zone created here, gave a little reaction there, then pushed up and created a lower low at that point. Currently, market is back into the supply zone here that was created at that level. Market is still back into the supply zone here. So our expectation, if the range continues, then our expectation for this pair is for the market to give that push from here down to this bottom of this range. Okay, either the market gives that push down to this range, or the market pushes down and comes back to there and pushes over, right? So that's our expectation on the EEG, all right, the EURGBP on our daily time frame. Moving to the 4-hour time frame. On a 4-hour time frame, we could clearly see we are still above a demand zone. We are still above this demand zone here. We haven't taken out. We are still above this demand zone that was created there. That is to say, we haven't taken out this low here. We haven't taken out this low. We are still above this high. We have taken out the high there, and we are still above this low. So our expectations is that either the market comes back into the zone and continue pushing up, or the market give a reaction to this zone, then fail. And yeah, these are either of those two. Those are our expectations for the week, and that's on the weekly outlook for the first week of September. Thanks for those that stick to the end of this video. We really appreciate that. I hope you learned one or two things that are gonna add in your trading week. Okay, have a good trading week ahead.